I would now like to talk to you briefly about this little camera. It is an Olympus AX1 35mm full frame camera. It is a very simple camera to use, as all it has is a selenium cell for the automatic exposure, and on the base you can set it to either take 100 ASA or 400 ASA films. It's got a 35mm wide angle f4 lens, so there's no need for any focusing. It's actually a good quality glass lens, and the selenium focusing means that it produces a reasonable picture in reasonable conditions. Wind on is a basic knob and a counter on the top there, and the only really thing that's missing is no tripod socket, and that is basically it. That is a very simple camera. Now, for this test run I used this can of film, and it is actually, if you can look closely, it is actually Ilford XP1. Now, for those of you who might remember, XP1 was the first film that Ilford brought out that could be used with colour film processing. It's processed in C41. Now, in practice it will actually process in any decent black and white chemical, and for this, which is well over 20 years old, I bought it on eBay by the way, I haven't a clue actually what the date is, because interestingly it came in its original tin and I thought the date would be on there. Ilford used to, but it's not shown on the tin, so I don't know exactly how old it is, but judging when XP1 changed to XP2 suggests it's well over 20 years. Now I dispense it into these sort of cartridges using my film dispensing bulk loading device. Great advantage of this is that you don't actually have to load a great load of films in, and for this quick test run through using Rodinal I only loaded 12. The great advantage there was I loaded enough film for 12, in fact it just took 11, but that was more than enough to do the test, and I was using Rodinal at 1 and 100 and leaving it on stand development for 1 hour. So here you can see the basic results, and although they're just some local snapshots, my local walk around test run, it's quite interesting. And also I did set it on the bottom, use this camera for it, and I set it to 100 ASA. Nominally XP2, the successor to XP1, should be used at 400 ASA by default. But old film, I saw somewhere that somebody suggested to drop a stop for every 10 years that it's out of date, and so 20 years means a stop from 400, 200, 100. To be perfectly honest, I'm not quite sure that 100 is good enough, and I'm going to do another test with another camera where I will rate it at 50 ASA and maybe 80 ASA to see what the results were. So, thank you for watching this brief video about the XA1, and it's the first of my sort of brief ones on individual cameras. Thank you for watching.